Yeah, one time for the fun time. Shit, bitch. Yeah, thank you, Father, for showing who really bitches. Niggas run their mouth, I treat the stool like it's.
What's good, y'all? Yeah, and welcome back to another episode of Marlon's World. Once again, I want to thank God for me doing another amazing episode without you guys. And also, I want to thank Soho Sweets once again. It's in South Holland. They have amazing trees, so please come out and check it out. And today, I got no other than my guy, David here, professional basketball player. Once again, today I'm gonna do an amazing interview with him and also his fiance. And we're just gonna talk about him and how he was basically, I guess you could say, raised in the life of basketball and how he was able to make it out the mud. So David, once again, I appreciate you for coming out here. So, like I said, you already know me. I do my research. You already know how I get down. And my guy went to Mount Carmel, one of the best Catholic schools in the Chicago area, other than, of course, Marian and the St. Rita. So I want you to talk about how it was Mount Carmel for you coming from freshman year on up.
But first, this is my girlfriend.
Sorry.
Not yet.
For sure. We, sticking it to the sisters.
Yeah,
For sure.
What's that again?
What I want you to do is just talk about Mount Carmel. How did you learn about yourself a little more? How did you grow into it? Because all up from what I know, once you hit your senior year, you kind of went into like your bag. Like you pretty much tapped into your true self. So tell me what was the process of that?
So I started Mount Carmel, played freshman basketball. Started on freshman basketball, but wasn't anything like crazy. Like, it's freshman to play varsity, freshman to play sophomore. So I just kind of had to work my way, just keep getting better and better. Sophomore year, same thing. Was playing sophomores, and then about halfway through the year, I got moved up to varsity, which is cool because I got to play with my older brother. He was on a varsity team at the time. Yeah. And then my junior year, I was a little bit more established. I had played varsity my sophomore year, so I was expected to do some things. So I started the season off fine, and then I hurt my knee my junior year. I tore my MCL. So any recruiting momentum, anything I had built up to that point was pretty much over with when I hurt my knee. I mean, it's just the name of the game. Like,
yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, so like that's your most active recruiting years, sophomore, junior year, and then senior year that pretty much know what to expect. So I got hurt my junior year, missed most of the season. I think I came back in the last couple games in the playoffs. And so the summer of my junior year was big for me in AAU. It was real huge and getting my confidence back and working on my legs and things like that. And so my senior year, at the beginning of my senior year, I was doing like some small visits to some D3s, like, because I had nothing. Like, I was hurt my whole junior year. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna play good. I still get to be in college. It's not Division I, like that's not where we could go. But I'm like, okay, cool. I can
so you can do what you love to do.
Yeah, potentially go for like a little less money. So college would be not worried about loans, nothing like that. But like the beginning of my senior year, started off strong, playing top-ranked guys, doing well against them. And I kind of like changed my mindset to like, I only had D3s at the beginning of the year, but I can still go D1. I'm proving it every night, night in and night out against top guys in the area, guys ranked top 100 in the area, and I'm having success and we're beating them. And so I just use that mindset of just not settling, not being okay with just being in college and just wanting more and just pushing and going D1 and going to school for free and achieving those goals I set when I started playing high school basketball. So I just went on to have a really good senior year. We had a really good senior year as a team. We were ranked top 10 in the state. Yeah. And that was like the first time since maybe Tracy Abrams was there.
Yeah, because they say you was averaging almost 22.
Yeah. Damn. Over 20 a game, but that's like I had a lot of good guys around me. So
to help you do that.
Yeah.
So I want you to, I don't think people understand this going through as an athlete, because I'm an athlete as well. I'm on track and field. And I want you to kind of pinpoint on the mental, like, breaking point it was for you when you was injured. Like, because people don't know, like, when you're injured, that's a whole nother level of just, like, mentally challenging. Because, like, for me, I had surgery on my ankle, and I was out for a whole year. So I had to really like build my mental back up, understanding like it's a process, God got a plan, and etc. So I want you to talk about how did that go for you?
So it was just really an unfortunate situation, and I was just trying to get back to where I was before. Because junior year, that's like when I'm like 6 foot, so you just starting to dunk, like you just starting to get your real athleticism, your explosiveness, and then boom, knee injury. And so just building that all the way back up, being a undersized guard to begin with, and not being a super athlete, and then having a knee injury, and so just having to find different ways to be successful and just keep telling myself it's something I can do. And then just seeing guys who were already committed to Division I's, who already had 4 or 5 offers, and just like doing well against them, that really helped me, and it really showed me what I could do.
All right. So once you finished, you graduated Mount Carmel, going into Albany, and your freshman year, once again, was it different? Was it a whole nother level of basketball, or was it something that you had to adjust to? Because high school and college is 2 different ball games.
So after high school, I did 1 year of prep school, which is like, we know what prep school is.
Yeah.
We got the big ones, IMG, and all these other places.
Where did you go?
I went to Midwest Elite.
Okay.
So it's not around anymore. They used to be like in collaboration with Don Bosco, which is a really successful one. They kind of broke away from them, but it didn't really work out for them, and Don Bosco just went up. Yeah, so they're doing a great job with Don Bosco. So that's where the connection was, but they're not around anymore. They may have been around for 1 or 2 years. Yeah. But I went there for half a semester and then left because a lot of stuff was going on. And then that's when I started taking my visits, and then that's when I visited Albany and committed there. So yeah, starting there, it was definitely a new level of basketball. I kind of had the same mindset like I did at the beginning of my senior year. Like I was like, okay, I made it, like I'm D1, school is free, like I'm happy, like I'm happy, like this is perfect.
You happy, but you ain't settling for real.
Yeah. At first I was just happy, like to be on the team, to be one of the guys, and then with my whole freshman year, like didn't really play at all, but felt like okay, like I can play, like I'm practicing against these guys, like I can do something, like I know I can do something more than just being another guy who played college basketball. Yeah, I could be more than that. So the whole summer, well, at the end of the year, we had a meeting with the coaches. We had 3 senior guards graduating. They all went to all 3 guards went to play professionally.
Okay.
So they were good. So it's understandable why I wasn't playing that much.
Yeah.
So the coaches just said like, okay, like 3 guys are gone. That's 3 spots opening up. You got an opportunity to start next year, but it's college. We're recruiting players. We're bringing more players in. We're gonna bring in some JUCO guys. We're gonna bring in some high school guys. It's up to you whether you show you deserve the spot or not. So I just came back and just worked the whole summer. And then when
like I said, you can tell because your numbers was ridiculous after that. You went from 2 point averaging not even over 3 points to averaging almost 18 plus a game. And your defensive wise, you was amazing. You was first team all defense. You was on your team, and you was the first Albany sophomore to earn American East all conference first team honor. So kudos to you, of course.
Appreciate it.
And I'm just looking at the stats, and it's like I think people don't really understand like when they come with basketball, it's like real shit. It's levels to that shit. Right? It's real life levels and understanding like. That game, you got to really put your blood, sweat, and tears in that. And I know you could tell based off of what you've done within a year what a difference can make for you. You know what I'm saying? Just sticking to the course and, just understanding what you're capable of, being the best version of yourself. And, man, I ain't gonna lie. Boy, it was getting bucket, bro.
Yeah. So, I just really took that challenge with myself. Mm-hmm. So, like, they were telling me, okay, it's your spot, but you got to compete for it. So, like going into summer workouts, it's like 6 weeks or something, and at the end of every workout, we play one-on-one. You play one-on-one with your like position group, and you play like maybe 3 one-on-ones a day out of different situations, different spots. And like the whole 6 weeks, I don't think I lost one one-on-one. So I just really had that mindset, like, okay, like I'm given an opportunity, I need to show myself. And then, like you said, it showed throughout the season, all confidence.
So another thing, I don't think people know it. You had a 40-point game that sophomore year.
Yeah.
But I know it was deeper than that, though. Can you touch on that for me?
Yeah. So my sophomore year, we're about to leave. We have an away game at Vermont, and we're about to leave to go back to Albany. I get a call, and they're telling me my sister is gonna pass away in the next week. Like everything's not looking good, so like you should start like maybe thinking about flying home, being with your family. And so I did that, flew home. I didn't get to stay for the funeral, but I got to spend some time with my family, which was much needed. And then I flew right back to school to get ready for the playoffs. And then first round playoff game, ended up scoring 40 points the first game after she passed. And then, a big win for us because it's the playoffs, school record, all that. So it was a crazy game, crazy experience.
So I heard that you actually, her nickname was CJ, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You looked up to her. It was one of your role models?
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me, how was that relationship with her?
We were close. It was a close relationship. Her daughter is with me every day.
Mm-hmm.
She lives with my mom now, so when I'm home back from Europe, I see her a lot. So our situation is unique, but it's like all credit to my mom. So my mom is a foster worker. So her job at the time was to basically oversee cases and see like how everyone's doing with their families that they're being placed in. And she immediately formed a bond with CJ. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not sure what the circumstances were, but she was going out of the home and she was gonna have to go back into like the main group until she found like another foster home to take her. But she was, like I said, she was real close with my mom, and my mom decided to adopt her.
Okay.
And so that happened sometime in middle school, and she was living with us ever since then. She had a sister who was also in the foster care system, so she ended up adopting her sister as well.
Okay.
So CJ was a part of the family, and like I said, I called her my sister because that was my sister since middle school, and so that's kind of where that that bond happened. Because she was not around when I was a baby, of course, but like still when I was, developmental years, she was around.
Someone is there for you.
Yeah,
people to talk to.
I always supported, all things like this. So.
Okay, so after sophomore year, going to your junior year, you was averaging almost 14 points a game. Still staying consistent. Consistency is key. Tell me, what was your thought process, once you got into your junior year, and then of course, because I think, was it after junior year, I think you graduated, and then you transferred over to Florida State. So I want you to talk about how your last year basically at Albany was before you transferred.
It started off really good.
That's good.
It's just on me.
Huh?
You want me to start over?
No, you can go ahead.
Oh.
No, I just had to check the camera, make sure it's still on.
Okay. So it started off really good. Like you said, it went from 18 to 14, but that's just because we had better players, more weapons around. So I mean, we started off on a crazy win streak.
Let's win off your back.
And then we had some injuries, some other things, and like we ended up losing in the first round of playoffs. Things didn't go as planned. And then after the season, I was told like, okay, if you take this class, you have an opportunity to graduate. And I said, okay, let me think about this. And at the time, the transfer market, like it's not like it is today. Like you had to sit out a year unless you graduated and went to another school.
Right.
So I was basically told I could graduate, and talking to my coaches, and they said, okay, that's a good option for you. If you graduate, then you can go play and test yourself at the highest level if that's something you want to do. And I said, yes, that's something I would like to do. So I took the classes, did like 5 or 6 classes in the summer to graduate in like a really short amount of time.
Was it stressful?
Yeah, for sure. I had to do like a computer programming class. I had to do like a bunch of random small classes I needed to meet those requirements. But I ended up doing it, passing all my classes.
And what did you graduate with?
GPA wise?
No, like what major?
Okay, so I majored in communications with a minor in business and history, I believe.
Okay.
Sometimes you get those minors not even trying to, you just taking
a
good
class
amount of classes. Yeah, so I had a couple minors. And so I decided to grad transfer, and that recruitment was nothing like my high school recruitment. Like, I had a couple schools out of high school and prep school, but when I said I was grad transferring, I was like, the day the coaches were able to contact me, I was getting like 10 different schools a day. Like, they were contacting me, or contacting my dad, contacting my assistant coaches. Like, it was crazy. Like, it was really a lot to choose from, but I know I wanted to play in a bigger conference. So I basically made it known, like, I don't want any mid-major. I don't want any low tags.
What was the transition from Florida State to the pro level? Like, when did you realize you wanted to make that big step?
I would say sometime during my sophomore year at Albany, when I was having some success. Again, playing some bigger schools, playing some guys who were going, like, expected to go pro, and just performing well against them. So again, in my head, I'm saying, okay, I'm a sophomore, I got 2 more years. I got a shot at doing this for a living, and I could play basketball professionally for, as long as I'm able to. And so I've had that mindset for a while, and I also knew that grad transferring and going to Florida State, a bigger school, would help me in that process and playing overseas, and everything worked out so far.
Once again, that playing style, was it different? Did you have to transition? Was that another adjustment?
Definitely adjustment. The first coach I had in Cyprus, like, everything I had learned about playing offense and where you're supposed to move when the ball is driven, like how you're supposed to pass, where you're supposed to pass, he had basically the opposite philosophy. So I had to readjust my game in a major way, and so ended up losing. We lost the first 4 games, like all close games, like all in the last second. And this coach leaves to go to another team in the league, a team that just beat us. And so I got a new coach with a new style, new playing style, which is more what I was used to. So I had to adjust again and basically readapt to this system.
Right.
And I mean, that's just the name of the game overseas, because you can only prepare yourself for so much. You can watch some games, you can watch some things, but every year, for the most part, you're in a new country, speaking a new language, you're learning a new system. So things are translated differently, things are explained differently. So it's just really about adjustment and how quickly you adapt. My rookie season, I played two guys on my team, I think got cut. Guys around the league getting cut, they're bringing in new players, and it's happening all the time at all levels, high levels overseas, low levels overseas. So if you can't adapt quickly, like, you won't survive. Like, some guys go play 1 year and never come back. Some guys play 4 or 5 years and then can't handle it anymore, and they never come back. So it's just about how quickly you can adapt.
Okay. So, we're gonna start with the basketball. Well, all the places you've been, who has the best food?
The best food?
Best food.
I would say my rookie season in Cyprus. So the island is split. It's like North Cyprus and then Cyprus. And the bottom part where I was at is just mostly like Greek people. So So that Mediterranean style food, that Greek style food, for me it was the best. And then I would say it's close though. It's closer this year in Belgium because you're close to France, you're close to the Netherlands, you're close to so many different places, so you can get a lot of different European food. And then of course she was making me things, her mom was making me things.
Oh, that's loud.
So yeah, like I mean, so in terms of variety, like I think it was Belgium, but like just like style, like that Mediterranean style, like I like if you can eat Greek food every day, it's like a bunch of different options you can have. So I would say Cyprus.
So I got 2 more questions before we leave. First question is, if you could talk to yourself 5 to 10 years back, what would you have told them?
Besides investing in some different stocks, no.
That's a hey,
Buy
bro, this
Bitcoin.
stuff is crazy. This stuff is really crazy.
No, I would just tell them everything happens for a reason. Everything negative that's gonna happen is happening for a reason. Every loss you have is gonna be a lesson, and you need to go through it to get to the point that you will be in the future. So I wouldn't change anything. It's got me to where I am now.
Right.
Got 2 degrees. From Albany, appreciate that. In Florida State. Got to play in a lot of different countries in Europe already. It just put me on the path I am now. I met my girlfriend. You know, one day I'm gonna be my fiance, and then
Put
my
that
wife
into
after that.
existence. Y'all hear this, right? Y'all hear that?
Sure.
Putting that into existence.
For sure, no, it's gonna happen.
For sure.
So, but without everything that happened in my past, I wouldn't be able to be at the point I am today. So I don't think I would change anything.
Last question, because you're a b-ball player, man. Who's the GOAT, LeBron or Mike? And if you answer wrong, I'm not posting it. So I need to hear the right answer. I need to hear it.
I feel like for you, it's gonna be Mike.
Oh, what? Of course not.
No?
I love LeBron James.
Okay. Nah,
See, that's but it's probably because of how I like basketball. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really. If I would play basketball, I wouldn't be a scoring type. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I like an all-around player.
Yeah, for sure. For me, pure basketball, it's LeBron. Like for me, pure basketball. Like people like to say, oh, he didn't like the finals record. He's not a killer.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you.
If you want to add in all the,
He ain't no scorer, but he the number 1 scorer in the world.
Yeah, like,
how that work?
If you want to add in all the unmeasurables and the intangibles, like okay, sure, like I can see you can say Michael Jordan, he's a winner, like 6-0 in the finals. All these other things.
He didn't need help.
Yeah, but when it comes to pure basketball and just the things done on a basketball court, for me it's LeBron, and for me it's like it's not particularly close. Like pure basketball, but like you want to add in all the other stuff, all the extra stuff, you know, the mentality, all that. Like okay, then sure you have an argument, but I'm not one of those guys that's like gonna tell you you're wrong because at the end of the day it's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, but for me, pure basketball is LeBron. Like, and like, I don't know, like how you can argue against pure basketball.
That's not. See, people like my friends, they just say Michael Jordan because 6 rings and all that. But I'm like, but besides the 6 rings, bro, like if we talk about, like you said, pure basketball, bro, LeBron James is the way to go. The man 37 still with playing like he was 16, 17 years old. Can't nobody do that.
Yeah.
But okay, I do have one more question. Is the NBA dream still alive?
For me,
Yes.
for me, the goal is to get as high a level of basketball as possible. And right now, I would say the goal for me, like a lot of guys in the States, the goal is the NBA. For me, it would be to play EuroLeague or Euro Cup. Like, that's the 2 highest.
People don't even know about that.
Yeah, that's the 2 highest levels in Europe. So for me, that's my goal right now. That's my focus. I'm not worried about the NBA or being in the States because I'm getting pretty comfortable in Europe. And right now, I prefer to live in Europe. Don't get me wrong. Of course, everybody wants to go to the NBA.
Yeah.
If that opportunity came, of course, 99.9% of people are going to take it.
Facts.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But for me right now, it's not my focus. If that makes sense.
No, for sure, I understand that. Well, that's a wrap for Warner's World. I appreciate my guy Dave and his future fiance for coming on here. Peace and love.
Like it's LA Fitness.